always there is a home team who is supported a little bit or pushed. And we had to be strong to handle all these things. So supporters were wonderful. Biggest thanks from the bottom of my heart to everyone. I will skip now to things which happened suddenly in the last few days, which I was surprised about, to be honest. Not surprised without separating our ways, because that was something which was supposed to happen. And there are witnesses there who know really well what was my decision long ago, not only after the game. You know, even some of my most senior players, they know that I have decided to leave my position, even if we qualify for the third round of the World Cup qualifiers, because it was impossible for me to keep going on in this way without a proper support, just listening lies, promises, and people who were more worried about their own private interests instead of taking a proper care about the football house and its own national team. So I have seen what has been going on in the media in the last 6-7 days. Many questions were raised, but I would say the most important things I will mention now, because when the new people took over the charge in football house, the clear message was sent to me at the very first day. And that message was that the coach will be renewed his contract if he qualifies with the team for the quarterfinal of the Asian Cup. That was a clear message and very significant one to me, that after the Asian Cup, I will not be anymore the coach of India, because to say something like that at that moment was making it clear that these people don't favorize my work, they don't appreciate what has been done there, and that they have their different opinion from what football should be or should look like in India. So I was not angry even at that point. I wanted to do my work on the pitch with as much possible support as I could get, and I was doing everything to do so. So when they decided to have extension on my contract for the first time, just until the end of the Asian Cup, the contract was signed. And you need to know that at that time, there was no changes in that contract apart from one, because there was no mutual trust between the parties there. I insisted only on one thing to be changed, and that one thing was in regards to the clause 9 of the contract. I wanted to make sure that these people will not be foolish enough to sack me in the meantime until the Asian Cup is over. So that clause was changed, and I could focus on my work with whatever I had or whatever were the circumstances at that time. But then some things happened which were not coordinated, which were not appreciated, and the most important one of these things was that new people, and I'm speaking here about President Kalyan Shobi and his new people in the house, decided to arrange and accept the games for the national team without any meeting or consultation with me whatsoever. Not even one call, not even asking my opinion, not even caring about what I think at that time, which was a clear sign of breach of the contract which was there. I don't want to think now, was that done on purpose with a good faith or not, but it was not in regards to the contract which we had at that time. And I couldn't do nothing about it, because at that time I was focused on the first games which were ahead of us, and these games were coming in March, May, and June, ended beginning of July with our team winning 3 tournaments. And that was the time when I have decided to become that things can be different, that things shouldn't go their way or the way they want to deal with things, and to tell them what I think about what they have done. After the Bangalore final game, SAF Championship in July last year, I immediately asked for the urgent meeting, and the meeting was attended by President Kalian and Vice President Harris. I was in position then to say to them what I think, because it was clear what our national team can achieve or can do with the proper time given for a preparation. Never mind if there is a lower ranked opponent or higher ranked opponent. The game we played was beautiful, it was exciting, and has brought us lots of happiness to whole country. And at that moment, I explained to them clearly in what position India is at that moment and what will happen if we don't turn things around, if we don't change. They were well aware that there is a huge suffering year ahead of us. I told them clearly that in my position, I cannot keep staying as an Indian head coach at that time if they don't change things radically in the house, if they don't make sure that the longer camps are provided to the national team, if they don't organize meetings with the responsible stakeholders in the house, especially meaning about FSDL here, which is responsible for the calendar of the ISL. And I explained to them how difficult it might become for us, because whatever they have done arranging King's Cup, Merdeka Cup, and later on was hurting our team. I told them clearly that I had at that time agreement, which was not in written form, because at the time I was having very constructive meetings with the people from FSDL, and I will name them Mr. Martin Bain and Dear Chirac. We agreed that it's possible to arrange mutual calendar to keep both parties satisfied, and I offered to them to give up October and November FIFA windows in replace to have good preparation camp for the Asian Games, bigger and more days camp for before the World Cup qualifiers in September against Kuwait, and 4-week camp prior to the Asian Cup. But as I told you already, once the new people in the football house decided to arrange games without consulting me and talking to me, they accepted King's Cup tournament, they accepted Merdeka Cup tournament, and after that, for FSDL, was not possible to do anything for us or for the team. And we stayed short about the days which were there already agreed for us to prepare well for the Asian Cup. I was very angry at that time, obviously. And I said to them that July and that evening in Bangalore, it's time to make decisions. I said to them, there is only one way how to deal with it. Either we shake our hands, we separate our ways and we stay friends, or they show the trust to the process. If they cannot influence or change the calendar anymore in the favor of the national team, which was obviously impossible with what they have done, I insisted on signing extension of the contract at that point with a time limit until the 1st September. They were obviously at that time very excited about what they have seen in the 3 tournaments we played. I had a huge support amongst you guys, amongst the fans also, and as much as they wanted me out and wanted to see me leave, they couldn't do nothing, because the only way they care about running the football house is what social media thinks. They don't care about other things. It's totally wrong approach to how to operate